And there is one more most brilliant idea that I have for you. I don't know if you will be able to relate with it right now or not, but I am telling you from my own experience, and I really want you to do it. Really want you to do it. Hi everyone, my name is Alina, and we discuss a lot about the fluency of English and your personality development, how you can develop your confidence in English. A lot of that stuff goes on this channel. So I'm going to discuss about a topic today which I think I have heard as a complaint the most in the comments. Okay, and this thing is that, ma'am, the words do not come to my mind whenever I'm trying to speak in English. I feel I'm going to go blank and I do not know how to express myself properly without the words. And I'm scared that at the right moment I will not be able to come up with the right word, and that would result into me losing my confidence and messing up everything, and also making a mockery of myself. So first of all, I have a few thoughts over here which will definitely make a lot of sense to you. Okay, I have given it a thought, though coming up with an answer to this problem was, I will agree and I will confess, was extremely difficult. Okay, because if I have to give you a gist of what may be an answer to this problem, it would just simply come down to saying that practice more. But that cannot be an answer to everything, right? There have to be some other concrete steps and concrete measures which I can tell you, which you may adopt and eventually you improve with your fluency. Okay, so what we are going to do today is, I'm going to give you, first of all, I'm going to address the issue. Okay, then I will give you a very practical solution to it. Okay, which I will expect you to apply in your normal life if you want to actually overcome this problem of yours. First of all, I would want to say that this is definitely an issue. I used to face this too, and initially I used to face it even more, and then eventually it decreased, and it really decreased to a very low level. Like right now, if I'm speaking to you, I don't really have to think about the words. They are coming to my mind automatically. How does that happen? We will find an answer to that. If I have to give you just one solution right now, apart from saying that you need to practice more, if there had to be just one thing that I could say to you right now, what would that be? According to me, if you find it difficult to come up with one proper word for a particular sentence when you are speaking in English with somebody, I would say just substitute. Formula of substitution will work for you. I do that all the time. I'm being honest with you. There are a lot of times when I'm speaking on the camera and I'm creating a video for you. A lot of these times it so happens that I want to say something. I really want to find the most perfect word for it, but it does not come to my mind. It's very natural. It's very human for something like that to happen to you. We are not computers that every time something perfect is going to come out of our mind. Doesn't work that way. Okay, so what I do is I substitute. If I do not find the most appropriate word, I use the less appropriate word. If I have to say right now that I'm extremely exhilarated, I'm talking to you. Exhilarated means you are extremely happy. Probably I would, if I'm unable to come up with this word, I would just simply say that I'm extremely happy to see you right now. Yeah, I'm extremely happy to talk to you right now. Okay, if I have to say that something looks deplorable on you, okay, please don't wear this dress, it looks deplorable on you. If I'm unable to come up with this word deplorable, which obviously would not happen to you unless you become very friendly with English, because these are good words, they happen to you in a period of time. So I will just simply say, please don't wear that dress, it looks horrible on you, it looks very bad on you. So there is always a substitute available for anything that you want to say. See, even if the most basic words are not coming to your mind, that may be because you are really not practicing. Okay, and our country has this problem. We often take pride in the number of languages that we have in our country, but if you think of it in a different manner, okay, if there is this matter of pride involved in the number of languages that we have in our country, there is also a problem involved. There is a lot of distraction. Okay, no matter which part of our country you live in, there is always an influence of at least 3 to 4 languages happening around you all the time. See, if you are living, let's say if you are living in Mumbai, okay, you have Marathi, okay, you have Hindi, you have English, and some bit of Urdu also if you have Muslim friends, okay. So these four languages are going into your ears and they are coming out of your mouth regularly. They're happening to you on a very regular basis. They're happening to you on daily basis. Every day you're speaking these languages, you're hearing these languages. So now you have to concentrate and learn four different. Your mind is under a lot of pressure. Your mind has to learn four languages. Your mind has to adapt to four different languages. If you talk about Americans, we often want to speak English like them. Have you ever given this a thought? Most of the Americans, they are only exposed to English. They are not exposed to the kind of variety of languages that we people are exposed to. Now you compare it to Americans, okay? If English is a language, all right, nothing else. If it is just a language, it is the only medium they have to talk and converse with each other. There is no other medium with which they can talk to each other, okay? So they are only exposed to one language. There is no distraction. I mean, I'm not going to consider Spanish and French and other things happening around over there, okay? Because mostly the entire country is speaking one language, mostly. Okay, so that is why since they are consuming a lot of English and they are creating a lot of English, okay, because of which they have such command over English. So mind is under a lot of pressure of giving the most proper feedback every time somebody is speaking to you in a different language. If I talk very personally about myself, I started learning English at a very young age, and earlier in the first few stages of my life, these things used to happen a lot to me also. It's very genuine and very practical. You think about a child living abroad somewhere. That child, when he or she starts to speak, initially those children, they speak very few words to express themselves, because those are the only few words they have learned by that little age of theirs, right? And then when they grow up, they learn more words and they start using more of those words, okay? And then they grow up even further and they learn even more and they use even more, okay? More and more English they are learning and they are speaking. But when they are starting with a very limited set of words. So that is how everybody begins. Even I began that way, okay? I began with a very little set of words and I started speaking in only those words. I mean, whatever best I could, okay? And then I grew up, I learned more, I made a few mistakes, I learned from those mistakes, and the only thing that I did right was I kept on doing the same thing again and again. Gradually, things did work out for me, right? And that is how they are going to work out for you also. So first of all, start practicing substitution. If you forget something, try and use another word in its place. Then there is one more most brilliant idea that I have for you. I don't know if you will be able to relate with it right now or not, but I am telling you from my own experience. And I really want you to do it. Really want you to do it. The thing is, I have noticed that in my case, and I would propose the idea to you as a proposal, giving it to you. It's up to you. You want to take the offer or you don't want to. You want to reject it. It's up to you. You want to refuse it, fine with me. I have noticed that when I put my brain under a tremendous test, okay, in a very difficult situation, when I do that to my brain, somehow my brain performs better. So if I have to give you a little example to explain this scenario, I know I am extremely nervous when I'm talking to somebody in English, okay? And now then there is this foreigner in front of me and there is this opportunity that if I go up and talk to him, obviously he does not understand any other language than English. So if I have to talk to him, I am under this pressure of only speaking this one language which he understands, okay? What I used to do was, I used to actually cautiously and consciously put myself into these situations. I used to actually go up to foreigners and talk to them, feeling extremely nervous. And I realized that whenever I'm actually in that situation, when I don't have any other cushion to fall back on, I used to perform better. I mean, English used to actually come out very well. I used to feel nervous, but when I was actually in that situation, I used to perform much, much better. So that is what I would want to say to you also. If you feel hesitant, and if you actually put your mind and put your brain into this test, and you actually walk up to somebody and you talk to that person and start talking in English, your mind will actually get alert, okay? It will be woken up, and it will be like, oh my god, I have to perform, otherwise I'm going to fail. And then your mind is going to do an overtime, and you will find the right words. You will be able to construct sentences, whether you construct them right or you don't construct them right. The thing is that you will be able to speak. You try it for yourself, and I'm telling you, it will work for you. It always works for me. Whenever I feel I will not be able to do something, and I actually put myself into that situation, okay, I do well. So there was this cliff jumping that I did in Rishikesh. I was standing on the cliff and I was extremely scared of jumping into the water. I did not know how to swim. I was standing there for 15 minutes. A lot of people came and they jumped into the water. It was around 20 feet, 25 feet, okay? Too much for me, all right? I was standing there looking into the deep and I could not jump. I was wearing a jacket and all. Everything was fine. I could not have died. No matter what anybody could have done to me, I could not have died. So finally, I decided that I'm not going to go back. No matter what, I have stood here for 15-20 minutes hoping to jump. I am going to make this jump. So I could not do it myself. There was this boy standing right behind me. I said to him, "Bhaiya, can you give me a push? I am unable to jump." And this moron, he did not wait for my instructions. He said, okay. He just said, okay, and he pushed me into the water. He knew that I'm wearing the jacket, I will not drown, right? I was a little angry. I was kind of furious with him, but he threw me into the water. And what happened? Did I die? No. I was inside the water for roughly 20 seconds. It felt like death, but it felt so redeeming. And then eventually I came up because of the jacket, okay, and I took my breath. I felt nice that I was alive. I was angry at him, and at the same time I was so supremely proud of myself. And that is what I would want to say to you. Go and take your first step, okay? Start practicing more, because seriously, practice is the only thing I have for you. I can motivate you, but the final leap of faith you will have to take for yourself. Put yourself under uncomfortable situations. They will work wonders for you. Alright guys, send me some nice comments. Let me know on the comments if you like the video, okay? And I will come back with some more nice videos every now and then, okay? Subscribe to the channel. You can connect with me on Instagram also. Right, take care. Bye-bye.